Okay. Hello, everybody. Oh, be right with you. Okay. Gotta get some incense on. All right. Welcome. Today we are in a very, 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 very important time. You might have seen my post on YouTube or Patreon or wherever. I've been putting posts connecting about Pluto directly moving into Aquarius now, staying there like it is, moving forward for the next 20 years. This is going to change everybody's lives, and you wouldn't have missed it. You came in on a 248-year cycle so that you could be here for this, witnessing the change in humanity, the shift in spirituality, the shift in the way that governments work, etc. The change and the direction for wealth, for example, and for the people to finally start to be able to succeed. So, I'm going to have a little bit of a look at this and forecast for you, and we'll also have a look at, if we get to it, we'll have a look at some sacred spirit cards. I don't really need cards. I'm going to tell you what I feel, okay, what I'm drawing, what I'm sensing, what's coming in, what I've written, what I've channeled, what I've streamed, what I've created, right, and come into a line with. I trust everything that I sense, feel, do, whatever. But I will have a look and see if this correlates with already the things that I'm going to talk with you about, right? So I do these talks when I feel guided to. For people who can't make it to things, I get it, okay? And I try to explain what I can, as well as offer a technique. So we're going to do a flame technique, of course, just to make sure that we are really, really centered, and so that you're listening on a deeper level as well. And all we have to do, right, to get ourselves completely protected, settled, connected, receiving, blocking out stuff, is to say, as a sovereign being of flame, you can say a sovereign being of light, it really means the same thing. I hereby call upon my entire guardians from all directions of time and space, through all layers of my entire being, okay, to create for me now a beautiful white golden firewall. This firewall extends into the center of the earth and right up into the center of the universe, and it protects you against anything. It amplifies and clears and cleanses all of your chakra centers. It invigorates the senses. It brings alignment. Okay, it brings forward movement. It blocks anything that's unnecessary. And we ask for a shiny silver mirror to be placed around the outside of our firewall, okay, which blocks any false light from coming in and collapses down things that are no longer in our highest good. So what now is we just do a quick 4-2-6 breathing technique. And we want to start with breathing into our solar plexus, imagining a golden red light here, a flame. Okay, so breathe in and hold. 1, 2. Okay, breathe out. Making a noise as you breathe out. What you start to do is just feel yourself anchoring down. Okay, so breathe in that red orange flame. Hold it and release. Okay, one more time. Orange red flame. Okay, hold it and release. Okay, here we go. The near future with the Pluto direct energy. People feel restless. People feel electrified. Sudden insights, sudden breakthroughs, tech issues, odd dreams, deja vu, powerful bodily heat. These are all common things. So we're staying grounded. Okay, we do our breathing in for 4, hold for 2, out for 6. We've got our flame wall on. We're just taking our power back with regards to how we see things. You've got to be a powerhouse, okay, for the next 20 years. And that means that you're not taking any crap, because if you do, you are going to continually repeat this in your face more than it ever has been before. So it's very, very important that, yes, you may notice a divide. Yes, you may notice people not interested, not doing the right thing, people fighting, people getting more fearful, people doing things that are far-reaching. If you can understand something, okay, this is something that might be a little bit of a hint for you in your journey. There are some people that are talking about med beds, okay, a bed that you're going to lie on that's going to heal everything, okay. There are people that are waiting for these med beds, okay, to arrive. Guess what the secret is? It's already there. The energy of being able to be healed is already there in your imagination, your visualization. You don't wait for something physically to arrive on this planet. We have to understand that our imagination, our thought processes, okay, creates. Our thought processes create. We use resonance in this way. We imagine, we close our eyes, we imagine we have a crystal bed in front of us. Everyone can see that? Okay. Lay down on the crystal bed. This is your healing bed. Inside this particular area comes all of your guards, guardians, okay, whoever it is that you connect with, surrounding you. Okay, now, are they going to heal you? They're going to adjust energy that's negative. You're going to heal you, because you're going to focus on nothing being wrong with you, everything being in alignment. You see, I've been doing this work for years and years and years and years, okay? Everything is going to boil down to you. As I taught you in the academy, you are your own healer, okay? No one is healing you outside of yourself. You are healing you through belief, through change, through thought patterns, through living your life in a different lens. That means releasing your fears, releasing your doubts, releasing your worries. If there's something that you want, you must imagine it first as your reality. That's been going on for a really, really long time. But the trouble is, 99.9% of people, unfortunately, can't get past the actual focus and let go of the belief process. They start worrying, so it kind of breaks it down. Now, this is what's going to be important. There is a divide between people who need other people for comfort and support. And there'll be ones who are learning to do this for themselves. That's the lane that I'm in. I'm here to help you help yourself. I'm here to bring you back into your original architecture. I am here to bring you into your original blueprint that you can do, right? And you have the ability to do anything you want, that you wish. It's encoded within your being. You've been told, you've been programmed to believe that you have to do as you're told in order to succeed. That you have to follow a certain set of rules that always seem to be really hard to navigate. right? It always seems to be somebody else that's getting it, right? My mission, and it always has been a mission, is to create miracles for yourself, to create change for yourself. And the only way that you're going to be absolutely on fire and rocking the next 20 years is if you let go of those hang-ups of somebody else knowing more than you. Yes, it may take a moment for it to be exposed in your life. Okay? Yeah, you still might go through and practice some things. Okay? That's not you handing over your power to somebody else. That's you giving your power back to you. Okay? So stay in that vibe of anything goes, and it starts to work in your life. Okay? So the frequency split. There are those that are ready for truth. There are those that are clinging to comfortable things. We're not here to tell them that they're wrong. Okay? We're just here to be the proof in our being. Many people want to see proof before they will look at something. So you just be it. Okay? You are the proof. The way that you are, how you look, how you talk, how you react to things, how life's treating you. Okay? Your joy. People know it. You don't argue, you just demonstrate your calm focus. Your composure is the teaching. Allies, opportunities. If you're doing this, okay, taking care of yourself, moving forward, opportunities appear quickly. Say yes to what only matches your higher integrity. Money or resources will shift unexpectedly towards new projects. Okay? The field is going to start to settle, where whatever you set in motion now is going to continue to echo for months. Okay? So we also had this, Pluto was in retrograde since May, right? There was a little bit of this pulling, dragging, internal. Whenever a planet goes retrograde, it doesn't really like going retrograde. It slows it down, right? So it forces an inner look. So Pluto was shaking things up on an inner level for you. So this is why you notice, right? The same old experiences coming up. And you're thinking to yourself, haven't I done the work? I just want to get myself out of this cycle, right? And then the same thing comes up again, and the same thing comes up again. Some of this is what Pluto does, is pulls up the things that you continue to repeat on an inner level, right? But also we were on a looping type of messaging service, let's just put it that way, that kept on. Every time we would get so far, it would ping us back another way, and we'd go, okay, right, I'm going up, I'm going up, I'm going up. And then we'd get this sort of sensation that everything was going wrong, or someone would come in with their BS, or you'd lose money somewhere, or you weren't seeing what you thought you were going to see. And so this would ping you or message you kind of in lack. That wasn't a true karmic sort of messaging service to you. There were other things going on at play as well. So not only have we had our own things that we were dealing with, our own lessons that we were learning, there were forced things upon us. Okay? And then people don't want to hear that sort of thing, but the way that the earth has gone in that way because of control mechanisms. Control in a lot of different areas. And not just the recent things that we know about, right? This went on for a very, 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 very long time. So if everyone's focused on something happens and then that means this is going to occur, or I'm going to get so far and then I'm going to fall down, or if I'm going to be famous, then I have to make an agreement, right? If we're always thinking in, if I do this, this is going to happen, always consequences, right? Then this was building momentum around the globe, okay? We're moving ourselves into an aligned connection, let's just say, or a collective, if you want to use that word. We're moving ourselves more into this alignment, okay? The messaging service that was created by the dome, okay, to stop us from getting where we need to get, from not reaching our full potentials, let's just say, that messaging service is not going to be able to do that anymore. And I'm just going to put it that way. I can't tell you everything that I literally go through for this collective. The things that I research, the things that I do with my remote viewing, the things that I can do with finding loopholes, the things that I can do with finding time walker gates, the things that I can do with finding symbology in my astral travels. And I can't explain that to all of you because it would blow your head off your shoulders, right? It would just be way too much information. So I've decided that I'm doing some things for the world in a way that I understand, okay, as someone who works with shamanic energy and someone who's been working energetically for a really long time. I can travel through dimensions and time and space and all that. And it's not about fortune telling. It's about putting pieces of the puzzle together and also finding the wrong piece of the puzzle. I'm just trying to give you something in general terms. Imagine if you had a completely finished puzzle, yet there was this one piece that was just floating around. It almost fit, and when someone had shoved it in there, right, and sort of bent one corner to fit it in there. We saw that when we were kids. Like, this is going to fit. It's going to fit. Okay, so imagine that on a very, very, very large universal scale, where there have been pieces of a puzzle that were forced into play or forced to fit, that did not fit, that did not keep things in a flow, that kept things, would get so far and it would ping us back, right? This happens with inventions, this happens with people who invented things, with other types of civilizations. It happens with structures and buildings and places around the globe that are, like, you know, the wonders of the world, right? There are things even greater than this that we have not seen yet because of certain pieces of the puzzle that are not real, have been shoved into place and made to seem seamless, so that nobody questions anything or even knows how to look at it. Those are the sorts of things that I do. And I can't explain those things to you because it would be too much. And maybe in 20 years you'll get it. But for now, it would be too much. It would be too hard to comprehend. So trust me when I tell you that there are things going on behind the scenes for the positive, okay? And it is removing those wrong puzzle pieces, okay? Those wrong gateways. Okay, so let me just, I am going to go back over my message here. All right, what else are we getting? All right, here we go. Okay, just bear with me. All right, so Where is this thing that I read? Hang on. Some things I write that are channeled out for me and some are for all of you. Okay. So, over the next 20 years, okay, governments fracturing, financial systems glitching, okay, spiritual leaders being exposed, deep truths coming out fast, random events accelerating this awakening, people suddenly desperate for real guidance, okay? So we're going to have a lot of company here pretty soon with the way that we do things. And for a very long time, there hasn't been the amount of people connected that should be, all because of this messaging service, the wrong puzzle piece, all these things I'm telling you all of this in code, okay? So you're very, very protected when you do this work, our original flame work, okay? We start to become stronger and stronger and stronger. The interference can't touch us as much. The false mimic energy can't track you. See? The wrong puzzle piece, like almost like a tracking device. It watches what you're doing and what you're saying and goes, oh, no, 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 no. We got to get this way. However, some of the things that I've been able to discover over the last few weeks has driven that mimic false system absolutely crazy, because they're like, how come she's got this? She's got it. We thought we had it. But the way that my brain works is completely different to what you might think, as far as working out a mystery or a problem or an issue, right? I'm going to go really deep. So it's like the reality is preferring, okay, our timeline is preferring what we're doing, right? It's like, okay, we've finally got the original architects back. These people know how to shift things. These people know how to bend time. These people know how to move from one, oh, we don't like this, we're moving somewhere else. From one thing to another without question. These people trust in their senses and their guidance, right? These people understand that they can do anything that they believe they can do, right? Anything that your mind begins to focus on becomes a reality, right? You're holding the highest seat of power within you, okay? And you're doing it safely. You're not lording over anybody else. You're not doing it in a way that is crushing somebody's spirit, for example. You're all about helping people. But you might have forgotten yourself in this process. And Pluto is going to force you really to allow yourself all of the power to come forward. So there's going to be a construction of this new world, and it's not going to happen where we jump into another planet or something. It's we're doing this construction on an inner plane, and it starts to be our outer reality faster and faster and faster. The world responds to you. The universe responds to you. The guardians respond to you. What are you doing? Where does your mind go? Do you really care? Like, I'm noticing now, like, I put funny stuff up on my personal Facebook page, right? I'll put up just whatever, memes, whatever, and it's just something silly or something funny. And I'm noticing that people that used to put up lots of political stuff are now putting funny stuff up. And I've seen them, and now I'm just seeing, see, because it's kind of like resonating, right? People are starting to put humorous things. People are starting to put useful things. People are stopping the whole gossiping sort of thing. And people who constantly moan and constantly complain and constantly just have a problem or an issue, we haven't seen them or we haven't connected with them, right? So your shift, your inner shift becomes your outer reality. You're going to see this faster and faster and faster. What do you want? we reset the entire game. Okay? It's done in your mind, it's done in your timeline. And what's done in the timeline unfolds with reality. This is why rewards are guaranteed for you all. This is why things are going to be gifted to you. People don't know why they want to do it, but they're like, I've got to do this. This is why your name starts to be in other people's mouths. People start to be curious about this. This is why golden gates opened, okay, on the timeline, the golden timeline. We've been working towards it for ages. You are understanding that you're the gate, you're the block, okay? You're behind, you are the key to all of it. And that key is turning another notch, okay? Whew. So, this is not a normal transit. This is a turning of the world, inner, now our outer world. The planet of rebirth, truth, power, destiny is direct in Aquarius. The sign of the future, unity, frequency, and the architects of reality. It's also, there may be some, it's also about aerospace and engineering and all of this sort of things. So innovation, invention, all of that. So we may see some crazy aerospace stuff going on in the next 20 years as well. Different aircraft, different ways of traveling, which may seem bizarre to us right now, but it will come out. So the world's power structures are dissolving. Every month, I'm going to be doing a webinar for you as the Flame group, okay? I will still be giving free stuff because that's who I am. So I can't help myself but need to talk, right? But if you do come to these things, we really do begin to tear stuff down that we don't want. And we begin to activate new things. We start to have visions. We start to have these journeys on an inner level. We start to be able to fix things quite quickly, right? This is who we are. So anything built on control is going to fail. False spiritual leaders, I've told you this over and over again, will be exposed. Some of them don't even realize that they're false. Now, how does that mean? Okay. They're receiving information, but it's directed information. The information that they are receiving is, and they're feeling like, okay, I'm getting this. It's coming in a connection with darkness. Now, that darkness tells them exactly what to say, what to do. They've got fame, they've got a great platform, they've got whatever they've got, right? All of a sudden, some of them, never heard of them before, but all of a sudden, boom, right? It's not coming from a space, as we know, that's positive. Now, to the person, they just feel like they're gathering. They're not exploring enough to understand what's real, okay, what's egoic, or what's coming from a system. So this hidden truth, okay, behind platforms and behind strategies and behind people that have huge ones, and, you know, even to not just spiritual as in, I don't know, people who do tarot or people who channel, right? Not just that, but even religious, you know, ones that are got these huge fanfare, big shows that they put on and all of this. There is going to be a change in how everybody sees those because of things that will be exposed. And a lot of it will happen over the next year as well. People are going to be seeking the truth, right? Their truth. And they're going to know when someone else has also received their truth. And it's going to be like, oh, we got this. That's how interesting it starts to become. Where there'll be a little bit of friction, like, or your energy will tell you when something's not right for you. Like you'll be able to hone in on the right ones, and the ones that are just wasting your time, or you're going around in circles, or there's going to be this and there's going to be this promised and that and this and this, and nothing ever comes, you know. So Pluto is activating your original blueprint. Okay, we are leading the reconstruction. So flame architects, prophets, truth speakers, vault keepers, dragon riders, you know, connections with dragons are coming forth like you wouldn't believe, right? Light builders, timeline shifters, timeline seeing, all of these things, anything that I can do, obviously I'm going to share with you and show you when you go, okay, this is where I fit in, or I like doing this grid walking stuff, or I like fixing the ley lines, or I like working with energy, so I like working out in space, dimensional, whatever it is that you want to do, you're going to learn it all, okay? So this also starts to awaken this yearning, this burning inside other people as well, okay? The amount of things that will now rapidly begin to change. Now, have you seen things are changing, the worth of things are changing, and the way we see things are changing minute by minute, day by day, right? Things are shifting. Oops, let me just move this. So we have lots of stuff. Where is my stuff here? Actually, you know what? I am going to... Here we go. All right. Okay. So some of the new words for things as we're moving along, like I do the transmissions. It's another word for a reading. I just don't use cards unless you say, can you throw some cards in there? Okay, I will. It's only going to back up what I've said, but we can throw cards in there. I just won't use tarot anymore. Okay. I cherish tarot. I've got them all behind me. My youngest son, he wants me to do his little readings because he's learning. His little flame is waking up. And for a collective though, I'm trying to teach you all to resonate with feeling. So how can I do that if the old Masonic tools are there? A lot of them are. You can look at it all. It's very connected with that. Even though we put a positive spin, I don't want to direct or ping power back to something I don't like, right? So I'm careful with that. So readings become a translation of the scroll, which is a soul documents, your soul documents. And there's so many of them, it's not funny. So a flame mirror session, okay? This is another thing that's also a part of my transmission services. And this really reflects back to you some things that either you need to dissolve or you need to embody, or it might be people that you need to dissolve or situations that you need to embody, right? There's a whole lot of stuff there with that. And looking at the timeline, so timeline seeing, looking at your field, right? Channeling is streaming to me. And you know what? It's so funny because that's always kind of how I've done it. It's like, well, why aren't we channeling all the time? I mean, it's there, right? But then people go, oh, and just make it all weird. And I just can't, I could never resonate with those weird noises and voices that change and all of this sort of thing. And for me, it's just a gentle process. It started to become something that was always there because I was always connected with that in my field, right? So of course it would start coming through. So streaming, flame speech, scroll speech, a signal receiving. Healing is restoration, integration, template recalibration, flame body rebuild. Okay, as you're listening, you're getting these things. Sovereign flame reconstruction. So, you know, my immersion series is like a 8-week, or I have a 12-week immersion series where it's more about reconstruction, healing. Okay, it's more about really getting to the bottom of what the hell's going on with you and why it's been there, different protocols, things that can get rid of it. And again, for the next 20 years, I'm not going to be the practitioner here, right? And so if you want to work with me, I can't guarantee how long I'm going to be the one on the other end of the phone or making recordings for you, because things are going to change where, you know, I'm going to be creating things that you download or creating things that you read yourself or you do yourself, and they're already been created. Because I don't want to sit at a desk for 20 years, right? Or another 30 years or whatever it is. So, you know, things will be created in different ways. So I can't guarantee to you that I'm always going to be available for these services, right? I will be doing as many as I can monthly sessions as a group, as a temple, as a connection, because it is so much more powerful that way, right? So if you want these things, okay, have a look. You've got them at my website. If you need to pay something off, let me know. Again, I can't guarantee it's always going to be there. Manifesting is now activation. We are into anchoring into the timelines. We are bringing ourselves into a calling, right? Yeah, it's kind of like the word manifesting now is kind of more like alignment, okay? Energy is the flame current or the frequency. The guides and the angels are now our flame council, okay? Guardians, scroll keepers, vault watchers, sovereign allies, interdimensional choirs, okay? So you can go back and look at the choir of Mu and the connection that we had there for that too. Ascension, scroll rise, dimensional flame, sovereignty, restoration. And it goes on. There's quite a lot of things. Protection is our flame mirror, right? So yeah, as we begin to understand and put things into practice in our own lives, then we have less and less of a need to seek outside of ourselves for answers, and more we are traveling on an inner level. And I'm telling you, if you can just let go of your fear, and if you can just let go of worrying whether you're getting it right or not, and follow the protocols, you will get it right. And stop fearing the unknown and all of these things, then your world will expand like never before. And, you know, the dragons, of course, come into this work, all of the mythical creatures, right? All things that have seemed far away from us. It's 111. I saw 1111 earlier. Come into our focus more clearly. Right? Animals behave differently. Things just suddenly slip into place. And I'm not sure if I told you all or not, but I did tell you a while ago that I was having a legal thing with Australia and money and a bank and all this over there. And I actually won. So I took it on by myself, and they must have thought I was such a biatch. Because I just would not back down. So I wouldn't back down into their fear tactics, or, you know, trying to frighten you into something. I knew my rights and I stood behind them, and it just sort of dissolved out of my way. And this is something that's been around, hanging over me for a long time, right? So it told me that the systems, okay, the corporations and the bigger systems and the bigger banking and all, they already know that this whole moolah thing, that's not going to be the currency, right? So it kind of doesn't matter if it's dissipating on an internal level. They may put up a fight, but they already know this is useless because this has always been an illusion, you know. So people are starting to work this out in their sovereignty. More about that and those systems will come later, but we're going to really start to see this pulse, okay? You're all going to start to feel this pulse of energy as we begin to unite in our way of thinking without judgment to whatever anyone else is doing. Like, who cares, okay? And this activates our soul memory, our purpose, our missions. We all start to really begin to become quite excited. Now, I will say, I was talking to my friend the other day and she's going, oh, great, more shit for me to have to deal with, you know, like blah, blah, blah. The thing is, okay, the energy of Pluto is this. If you continue down the same pathway, the same reactions, the same negativity, whether it's in your own mind or you're allowing it into your life, right? If you're saying your happiness relies upon actions of others, or I can't be happy until I have this and this and this, then you will be getting even more of the kick up the butt. More things will just be like chaotic because you're refusing to see how powerful you are. And Pluto is trying to say to you, if you keep doing the same crap, you can do it. That's fine. That's your thing. But don't be blaming anybody or the universe or whatever but yourself. This is going to continue to repeat into your life until you change your reactions. Once you change the reactions, you change your life. What consumes your thoughts changes your life. Where you imagine becomes your reality. Where you want to go, the only obstacle is you and your thoughts. Well, I can't do this because of this. No. So that's not the reality anymore for you to understand how something that you want can happen. Okay? Because otherwise you'll keep being given questions and never answers. You see how that is? Okay? Some things are not meant for you. We can't push our will on somebody else. So you can't say, I want such and such to be my husband or wife. And that's going to be my proof. And I'm just going to let go and let the universe let it happen. Because that's interfering in somebody's free will. It's not a choice they may make. So this is about you personally, right? I mean, it's a prophetic call, what's going on here. It's not just a transit. You're no longer waiting for change. You're becoming that change, right? You are no longer asking for permission. You're understanding that what you do is law. What you do is a command. With that command, it can be a negative thing or a very, very positive thing. We are no longer healing the past. We're building a future, right? We're igniting together. We're breathing together. We're connecting together. We're standing together. And we're beginning this process, but it has to be an internal process for the most part, okay? That's the most powerful part as well. So the false spiritual grids, no more pinging. Hidden truths exploding into the open. I'm not going to give all the truths. I already know what I know. And I'm not going to mention it here because it draws some of the wrong attention. And until all of that comes flying down, which is got no choice, it's already happening, right? But until we really all just go, oh my God, this is happening. And we all start seeing one thing after another, right? Which we will quite quickly. Then I'm going to just start flinging stuff out. So, old systems collapse. Started in September. Pretty big, right? Fake leaders exposed. People will begin to awaken in waves. Okay? Awaken to who they are as a soul. All right? Yes, there will probably be more unrest because the friction will be there. Okay? The change will be felt on an internal level, and people will think, I don't know what this really is, but I'm angry. Okay? And some will be like, I don't know what this really is, but I feel peaceful. So you'll be sort of slipping where you belong. We're not here to heal quietly anymore. We're to lead the reconstruction of reality. It's activating our original soul contracts. The flame architects, I told you this. Designing. What do architects do? Design, right? They design a building, or they design, a street, or how it's all going to look, right? They design a city, right? You're designing your life, your timeline out. You're putting things into action in your life and seeing the result. There are those who are vault keepers, like you've been entrusted with these powerful places. You might be someone who's like myself and can travel off into other dimensions and worlds and past lives and future lives and all kinds of things together. And part of me is like, everybody, why can't you all do that? Come on, let's go, it's fun. But I understand at the same time that it's not something that you want to delve into until you're really ready to do so. Again, my shamanic work and my healing work over the past 25 years has given me the experience to do so. I've been forced to see things, believe me. So the truth tellers, the temple builders, the timeline shifters, the timeline seers, the grid walkers, all of these things start to become our everyday language. And we start to resonate like the angels do. The angels told me that they see us in colors, vibration, sound as well. And so they see what it is that we've done, okay, through all time and space, through our vibration, our sound, our colors, our badges, whatever it is that we've done, right? They see us in this resonance of vibration, and there are so many pieces of the puzzle, as I was telling you before. Like, there are so many things that people almost get. When you start putting it all together, you have a very powerful sequence of ignition, of being able to see this and understand things. It all has to go together. You hear about the somatics of things. You hear about the color therapies. You hear about sound therapies. You hear about dimensional therapy. You hear about geometric sequences, and you hear about the Merkabas and all that. It all has to go together. So your voice hits different. Your presence will feel more powerful. There will be rapid shifts too. Some things will take a little longer, but there are rapid things. People suddenly leaving and entering your life. People going and ghosting you. Let it go. Don't worry about it. Don't even try to figure out why. Let it go. Sacred spaces, new land, new opportunities, new environments coming forward. Things finding you rather than you always waiting. If you're doing the work, then your vision, the way that you use your psychic abilities, it's called prophecy. And this clarity starts to get stronger and stronger and stronger in dreams and in waking life. You just know global things happening, or people like maybe myself. Suddenly everybody sees me all of a sudden after all of this time of just waiting, for the changes to happen, right? To things to lift. And this increases and increases and increases. So, let's also just, we are no longer waiting for the new earth. Okay, we're already doing it. We're building it as architects. This is the rise now of the flame era, of flame sovereignty, of claiming back what was rightfully ours so long ago. And as this begins, and as we begin to awaken it, and as we begin to step into it and just breathe into it and just trust the process and let go of our own crap and work on it, right? It gets stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger until it's just your everyday, every life, switching off from nonsense and focusing on where you want to be. The moment you start to feel something in your body, you can completely reconstruct it out. Just, you're taking charge, okay? So, let's see these sacred spirits. Divine will. Let go of fear. Breathe that color in to your solar plexus. Look at that. You have it. You're commanding. And underneath the other side's meditation, improvements require persistence. Continually doing something and hoping for another result. We know what that is. Right? We have to use our brain, okay, in the best way possible. And this also means that doing this work, we can activate dormant aspects of ourselves, including our brain, the DNA, everything, okay? In fact, just by you accepting and acknowledging that you are a flame bearer, you are here for a purpose. You are far more than you've ever been told that you are. That you are an architect of your own design, right? That you can create through your mind, through your voice. You're all the voice of the flame. You're all connected with it. It's all through history. Little hints about the energy of flame and the energy of fire and the transformation that happens, okay, when we engulf and we understand our flame selves. It's different than what we've been taught for how long now? Okay, I get that. Why do you think we've all been taught the things that we've been taught? Why do you think that is? Because we're not supposed to know everything that's there. We would be far too powerful, wouldn't we? There's more of us than there are of them, so to speak. So why would they give us everything that we need to continue to thrive, right? That's why I'm going to break those codes. That's why I'm giving this to you all. That's why I'm doing all this work behind the scenes. And I know that I'm different, and I know that it's not everybody's cup of tea, and that's fine as well. But you will all understand soon. You will start to see some things happen that you cannot explain, other than you were a part of the flame bearers coming back to life on the planet, that you were one of the original ones to come back. And through this, many, many powerful and wonderful things will happen. And you will be doing things behind the scenes that nobody knows about too, as part of your journey, right? As part of who you are. I have no real choice. I get guided to what I have to do, like I know I need to do, right? Because no one dares to look in those directions, and that's okay. I don't mind being the weird one. I don't mind being different, original, right? Let's go. We got here. Ascenders, Masters. See? They're guiding. So this is the other thing, right? We have our guardians, right? We have the masters. We have anyone we want to really to be working in our side. But I have seen some people say that they're ascended masters here on the planet and get in line, basically. And I'm like, and people are still falling for this stuff. Like, what are you talking about? We're all equal here. We may not all know what we can do, but we're all equal. We have to learn to tap into it. Our ascended masters do give us those messages. The guidance is always, you are what you think you are. That is the guidance. Always, in all ways, you are what you think you are. When someone says to me, you know, I can't see anything, I say, okay then. And then eventually they get to know me and start laughing when they're realizing what they're saying. You know, it's funny, there was a person in my life before, and when when someone would give him an opinion and it wasn't an opinion that he agreed with, he'd say, cool. I actually think that's a good one, because you're not outwardly disagreeing, right? Cool. If that's what you think, cool. It's the same sort of thing. You are what you say you are. Eternal union. New love is forming. A deeper connection. This is another thing with Pluto. It forces the wrong connections out of your life. But what else happens then? It allows the right ones to come in. This could also be a deeper loving connection for humanity as well, after what we've seen for how long now, right? And it doesn't have to be in an angry sense either. I don't think anything gets done very well with anger. Trying to say that you hate something because of, and it's like, you hate that, but listen to you, you know, great. Sound pretty hateful to me, you know. Expansion. Educate your mind. Educate your senses. Look at this. Kind of looks like a big old dragon's eye, doesn't it? Does that mean the dragons are coming out? Oh my god. Alright, hang on. Open intuition. Seek clarification. Look at this. You're getting the information, okay? You're getting the information. Now, ask and believe in the signs that are also coming. I sort of get this sensation of self-sacrifice here. Like you've given too much of yourself for too long. So it's actually time for you to call your power back within. Some of you need to ground yourself too. I'm getting that, you know, you do float off away from your physical body. A lot of people do that as a trauma response, and I find them way far away out of their body when you're doing retrievals and things like that. So call all the parts of yourself back in. Make sure you're doing that. Clear and activate. See how everything is radiating in these cards? In a sense, there's a lot of dimensional signs here. Everything is radiating the ability to do it yourself. You are what you say you are. Wow. Creating this mindful vision. Mindful wisdom. Create inner harmony. See, create that sensation within. You're no longer waiting for something to happen. Maybe one day, someday. You're claiming it now. You're commanding energy. This has always been the key. It's not something that is gifted to you without you believing in your deservingness of it. Once you actually look at yourself and how your patterns are and how your structures are and how you sequence things and how you feel about things and why something always continues to come up in your face, then you can start making those changes, you know. Then you can start shifting things, and it happens now, right? Right, so when Pluto goes direct, it's another little note I made for myself. The old world loses control, the new world activates. Aquarius, future, freedom, technology, revolution, right? Collective awakening. Pluto, power, death, rebirth, truth and destiny. It's all coming together. Collapsing of corruption in public view. Hidden truths exploding to the surface. Systems built on lies begin to fall. Doesn't matter what systems they are. Spiritual deception gets exposed. Religions, the deception there and the false energies there. Not everybody. It's the same in the spiritual communities. Not everybody. But if you are false, you will be exposed. False leaders lose their influence. The people begin to remember who they are, right? It's a soul reset. For you, all the flame bearers, your gifts activate to the next level. Your voice becomes prophetic and undeniable. The purpose becomes crystal clear. Your presence ignites others automatically. Your allies and resources arrive. Things just finally happen. You stop healing, you start building. This is your call to rise, everybody. We're not here to fit in or to play small. We are architecting a new timeline, a new earth for ourselves. And Pluto will demand direct action. The energy is not going to let you hide. It's going to push you into visibility, leadership. Some of you are like, oh, well, I've been doing this for so long and nothing's happening. It's going to start happening. You better be ready, right? If you resist, you're going to feel pressure. If you surrender and lead, you're going to be unstoppable, right? So everything starts happening quite rapidly. You're taking back your power today. Pluto direct doesn't ask. It is commanding the energy to shift and to change. And the world will soon be looking for those who know about this and can lead this and can be there and can talk about things and can understand that they have the answers for everything. And they begin to step forward and bring others with them. This is when the era changes, right? The new frequency. We're already here. We've just been waiting to be shake awake, right? So, again, release the residue of the retrograde, draw in the Aquarian light and the evolution and the knowledge and the wisdom. Trust that it's already burning and glowing within you. You're doing your breath work, in for 4, hold, out for 6, like grounding, connecting. You're doing this and you're ready. As soon as you see, you're going on Facebook or whatever, you see some BS post, unfollow it, get rid of it, scroll on and put something funny up on yours. I told you I'm seeing so many people starting to do that now because they're so sick of the same old BS and complaints. So we don't want this anymore because we know that what we think happens, what we resonate with, what we do starts to become part of our life sequence, right? It's almost like the algorithms. You start watching one video on cooking lo mein or something and suddenly you've got 50 lo mein recipes. Why? You're drawing it in and then you're starving, right? You got to make it that day. Well, the same thing happens with what you're choosing. So if you're choosing to be funny or you're choosing to bring laughter and joy to the planet, then that's what you start seeing 50 times a day rather than the fights and the arguments and we're just tired of it. It doesn't get us anywhere. So we create from within. If you say so, remember, whatever you say you are, you are. Think about that on all of the levels. I know I get talking. That's just... I can sit for over an hour, sometimes 2 hours doing transmissions and readings for people, and I have done for so long. And I kept on talking, through the whole thing. I taught myself this because I would create a structure or a sequence. And then as I'm diving into that sequence, I'm like, oh my God, here comes something else. Let's talk about that. The next thing will come in. So this is coming from someone who used to stutter. You know, I used to stutter all of the time. And now I can speak this long. I'm kind of glad for it. So you will notice some changes as we move ahead. You're going to feel it. You're probably already feeling. I'm excited for it, because this is when we rise. This is when we go back to the front, how it should be, okay? And you're going to have no choice but to start seeing this happen throughout your life in every way. Now, I will see you in the next video. I hope to see you next Sunday. And we keep getting bigger and bigger in these classes. This is absolutely powerful stuff. So I hope to see you there. And if you need anything, you know where my websites are by now. And until the next time, bye for now. Happy Pluto Direct for the next 20 years. Bye.